we've completed the, that third round of anchored instruction, and now here we have a problem. And the concept, again, that we just saw was that we could have different numbers of parts. So now we get a word problem, and it's still, at this point, it's asking me, this season the school soccer team played 15 games. They won 9, tied 2, and tied 2. How many games did the team lose? So how many parts on this one? 2? Let's do 2.
No, it'll be 3.
But let's do 2, just so you can see what it looks like. Now the next thing's going to happen. And by the way, the anchored instruction and the guided practice that we're doing right now are perfect also for a whiteboard environment, for the very reason we're examining it right now. So I put up 2, and now I ask the group, what's the total? Number of games played? Okay, right? So up here we have number lost, number won,
So you'll need 3.
and now I'll say, well, what happened to the tied games, right? Oh, we need 3 parts. You'll see how that drops in here, and they're tied. Now I click done. This is what we talk about with guided practice. You can only move forward when you complete the step. And you'll see there's no numbers in here. We're trying to wean the student off of seeing word problem, I need to come up with a computation. I don't want them to solve yet. I want them to set up the problem. Okay? So now we do that, and you've gotten it right so far, so go to the next step.
Now drag the tiles into the organizer.
Okay?
And click done.
So my total is 15. And it looks like I tied 2.
That's right.
Let's say I put it this way just for fun. Whoops. But now there's only 2 things wrong, right? So I'm going to bounce this one out and then pop this one in there. It's done. So it's guided.
Calculate your answer.
Now I calculate my answer.
Click done.
But again, calculating my answer here it's a 2-part process, right? So let's say I call on the group and somebody tells me it's 26. Well, these 3 over here have to equal that. Does 26 equal 15? You can see how you could use that, or how the student could use it independently too. So I put in 4.
That's right.
Last week, Allison spent 3 hours on math homework, 1 hour on science homework, 4 hours on reading homework, and 3 hours playing basketball. How many hours did she spend doing homework?
Select the number of parts for this problem. Then choose labels for the total and the parts. Click done when you're finished.
So you'll see here, in this case, there's a distractor, right? Because playing basketball really doesn't count as much as a lot of kids would like it to. It doesn't count as homework. So we go in and do this. And we'll just do one more here. We'll finish this one up. Math. We have our reading and our science.
Good job. Now drag the tiles into the organizer. Then click done.
Okay, now this time you'll notice that the unknown is at the top. So it is actually, once I've set the problem up properly, it is going to be in a single step problem. Between 4 hours and a week.
Great. Calculate your answer. Then type the answer
So here's
and click
8.
done. That's right.
Now in the guided practice session, I believe there's typically 5 problems. So there is actually a lot of reinforcement. Each one is slightly different, and they do get slightly more complex.
Then choose labels for the total and the parts. Click done when you're finished.
And you'll notice in this case, and this does follow what happens on the state test quite a bit. Some of these are nominal, right? You have a snake and a bunch of fish. That can throw students off. So one of the things we'll see is that along the way as I'm going through this, the program is very careful. These items are all tagged in great detail so that when we get finished, we're going to be able to see for each student where they're not successful, why. And we'll take a look at a report called the Profile Report, and it has about 12 different linguistic characteristics that it's able to break the word problem into, and then it has numeric characteristics, such as whether it's whole number or fractions, whether it's a large number group or not, whether or not the incorrect answer was due to a computational error, or whether it was due to the fact that it's a multi-step problem, so forth. And with that, you have a lot of actionable information. Because a lot of times with word problems, what happens is they're assigned as homework. The teacher tells the student to, show their work, but they never quite do show every step. So how do you know where they broke down on that one word problem, let alone how do you know where their process is breaking down? Okay, to really understand what's going on and what the challenges are that the student is having. And I think you can also see, like, even with his parts and total, that idea of there being an unknown. Think about how important that is as a bridge to algebra, if you're trying to get them to algebra readiness.